Hi, I'm Mr. Gordon, and I'm going to be teaching you about, in algebra, collecting terms and simplifying expressions. So, I have some idea we do questions which we're going to be doing during this lesson. But first we need to define a few things. So we're dealing with algebra, which is when we use letters to represent unknowns or variables. So for example, when we write 2x, what we mean is we have two x's. So we've got an x plus an x, which is 2x. Now that x, we don't know what it is. It's unknown or it's variable. So we either don't yet know what that x is or it's variable. So its value can change in different scenarios. So when we're dealing with letters, that's what we mean. Over here, you see we've got lots of squares and lines, then we've got some bigger squares as well. So we're just going to define something for you here. So I'm going to say that a small square like this, that is equal to 1. So if we have two small squares, that must be equal to 2. Now if we have a line, let's say we've got a line here, I'm going to say that line, it's 1 high, and I'm going to say it's x wide. So the width of that line is x, and the height of that line is 1. So 1 times x, 1 times something is something. So that line there is x. Now, I say that x is variable. So you might look at this and think, okay, so here's the square, that's 1 wide, and x is 4 wide. But this is variable width, so this could be any width. That's still x. That's still x. It doesn't matter how long that line is, it's still x. In this example though, I'm going to be using x of line length 1. So let's have a look at some questions. 1 and x. Here is our 1. Here's our x. I'm just going to label them on the first one. So there's 1 and there's x. So this is representing 1 plus x. Usually we write the algebra, the variables like x, we write those before the constants, so the 1 here. So we're going to write that as x plus 1. We can't simplify it any further because these are different kinds of things. Again, we're not counting up the fact that this happens to be 4 wide, because remember, this is variable width. We don't know how wide that's going to be. So our answer here is x plus 1. Pause the video and have a go at this one. So in this case, we have 1 plus another 1 plus x. We know that 1 plus 1 makes 2. So we have 2 plus x. Again, we write the x first. So we're going to write x plus 2. On to the next one. Remember these longer blocks, these are x. So I've got x plus x plus 1. How many x's do I have in total? 2 of them. So instead of writing 2 times x, we just write 2x instead. So 1x, 2x plus 1. Note that my answer isn't 3. These are different kinds of things. Okay? These are variable length. They're x long. We don't know how long it is, but it's x long. We've got 2 of them, and we know that this block is exactly 1. So 2x plus 1. Have a go at this one. You should have got x plus x, which is 2x. We don't have a constant to go with it. We don't have a number by itself to go with it because there isn't one. We don't see any of those little blocks next to this one. Next question. This time we have 1, 2, 3x plus 1, 2, 3. So whilst you do these, do draw them into your books as well. Now it should be nice and quick to draw them into your books. Let me just show you how. So if this is my exercise book here, and I wanted to have a go at one of these questions, this is how quickly I can do it. I'm not going to use a ruler. I will have had the learning intention written down already. I'm going to do equals x plus 1. So that's how quickly you can do it into your books. Doesn't need to take a long time. Pause the video, have a go at your go. 1, 2, they're both of type x, not 1. So we've got 2x plus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Doesn't matter what order they are in. So here, I guess, I've got 1 plus, well, it's the same thing, it's just been rotated. That doesn't matter. That's still 1 plus x plus 2 plus x. So in total, we can count the x's. We've got 1, 2 x's, 2x. Remember, we don't write the multiplication sign in the middle. 2x plus 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 2x plus 3. So we've simplified this expression, 1 plus x plus 2 plus x, into 2x plus 3. Have a go at this one. X plus 2 plus 2x plus 1. 1x plus 2x, 1, 2, 3x, plus 1, 2, 3. 2 plus 1 makes 3. 3x plus 3. What on earth is this thing? Okay, so we've introduced a new kind of thing here. Let me draw it over here. So what we notice with this new kind of thing, and each of these are terms, so 1 is a term, x is a term, and whenever this new thing is, that's also a term. That's the language that we use as mathematicians to describe it. We notice that the width of this is the same as that. So it's got the same width as x. That width is x there. We also have a height, which is x. So we have a square with width and height both being x. Now, if we had a square and the width and the height were both 2, the area of that square would be 2 squared, which would be 4. So here it's going to be x times x. So it's x times x, which we would write as x squared. So this shape here is x squared. So we have 1 plus x squared. Again, we write the largest power of x first. So we write this one before this one. But we have 1 plus x squared. We would write x squared plus 1. Have a go at this one. So again, we've got the larger blocks. So we've got x squared plus x squared. One of them, 2 of them. We've got 2 lots of x squared. Now, we need to be really careful. If we have 2 x's, here are our 2 x's, we would write that as 2x. That's different from x squared. 2 times something is not the same as something multiplied by itself, the square of something. That's really important to notice. And in this case, you had 2 of them. So that's where the 2 at the front comes from. And the little 2 up here, the squared, is because they are the x squared blocks. Okay, last question. I've got 1 plus x. So I've got 1 plus x plus x plus 1 plus 2 x squareds again. So in total, I've got 2x squared plus 2x plus, run out of space there, 1, 2. So we would say this is 2x squared plus 2x plus 2. Have a go at the last one. Okay, so we've got, let's just count them here. We're not going to write this down here. We've got 1x squared, 2x squared, plus 1, 2x, plus 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so that's how you collect terms. We've got, just to go over, we've got our constant 1, we've got x, and we've got the square of x. We've got x squared. And we drew them, and we wrote down the expressions in their simplified form.